Hi there, thanks for tuning in. So, fresh from the highs of yesterday and getting the car started, which is a real relief, we've got a few jobs to do. Before we get started, and I'll tell you what we're up to, please just take a moment to like and subscribe. It takes you 5 or 6 seconds, doesn't really affect your life too much, but could affect mine and hopefully give you some better content if I can improve my lighting, etc. Now, what are we doing today? We are going to be doing the dashboard and the bonnet fitting, and also stripping all the shiny stuff off, ready for it to go to paint. And let's just see what's going on. Right, so a little bit of excitement here. We've got our Bailey Morris prop shaft back, so I haven't even looked at it yet. So I'm hoping it's all looking good. Of course, we won't know for sure until I try and fit it. So let's just have a look at the end if we can. It's a heavy beast. Heavy. Nice, so it's got our yoke on it that we sent, obviously, so they attach it to their to the prop shaft that we've given them dimensions for. And for me, I had an end, so it's got 4 slightly offset holes, which these look like they are, and of course we got that indent there, hopefully that the nut is going to sit into. Blimey, I hope that's enough. Right, so yeah, we'll see if that all fits. All right, so there we go, prop shaft all in place. Plenty enough length going into the gearbox here. Just looks a bit odd. There's probably about 10 mil there, which you need the extra play to be able to get the prop shaft over the nut that kind of sticks out. I was a bit worried that there wasn't going to be a cavity big enough to accept the nut that's in the diff, but actually it seems to sit in there beautifully. So I'm really happy with that. So we just need to get some good 8.8 or 12.9 bolts through there to hold it all in place. Fantastic. Okay, so I'm partway through a lot of these jobs. Let me just tell you what's going on. So I fitted the brackets here. Now what I like to do is use the riv nuts into the body, and then a nice countersunk bolt straight into here. So I've had to countersink this little bracket, and that gives you a slightly better finish. And also the paint shop can remove these temporarily to paint all underneath and everything, and then reattach them. The instructions will tell you just to rivet them on, but I don't think that's a terrific idea, but it's totally up to you. Now you need to adjust the gas rams. You need to adjust the gas rams so they can only just hold the weight of the bonnet. So you can see this one, and if I just give it a little bit of up and down, it pretty much just falls. That's because you don't want to have too much pressure on any of this paintwork and everything. You know, if this has got to really flex down, it's going to flex all around here. It's going to crack your paint. It'll probably crack your paint anyway, to be fair. So yeah, you just need it just so it holds it up. I'm probably going to let a smidge more air out of that, because then when there's 2 on there, it should hold it easily. Now you've got to do these one at a time. Also, there's lubricant in the main shaft here. If you were to undo and let a little bit of gas out, you're going to let a lot of lubricant out as well. So unfortunately, I take it in turns doing them. So I can see this one needs a little bit of air taken out. So what I'm going to do is bring this other one up, and then I'll take that one off, and it's just held on with some temporary 5mm bolts, so that I can just take it off quick. I've already undone, so it's just finger tight the bottom bolt, and I'll just take it straight out, put it the other way up so all the lubricant runs down, and then just let a little bit of air out, and then put it back on again. And whilst that's off, I can check this one out and see if this one's just holding up the bonnet just slightly on its own, and if not, I'll take it off and let a bit of air out. Actually, it's easier to do this side because this can actually hang lower and let the lubricant run down, but this side you can't because it hits the alternator, which is why I totally remove it. Anyway, so I'm just going to do that so that it just about holds itself up. All right then, so I'm pretty happy with this movement now. Obviously with both on there, it does want to just pop up when I let go. About there. Good to control it though, because otherwise it will bounce and flex. So just control it up. And you definitely need these fitted before it goes to paint, because it does change the position of where this sits, because it's all just trying to push it all up here. So make sure you get them fitted. I might just take a little smidge more air out. I think it is holding itself there and then wanting to take off. So I might just take a little smidge more air out. So that's that. Moving on to the dashboard. So that's all fitted. Now I need to take this off and need to take into account some leather being folded under here, and there's a chance that this is going to be leathered as well. So I've just marked a bit of a Sharpie line there, just to take a little smidge more off. This is for the immobilizer, so take into account the leather for that as well. And then I've fitted my key. Now, like it or loathe it, I think it's pretty cool. Just need to, well, you do actually get used to fitting this without needing to move the washer, but I like fitting this over here. It's quite subtle, and then you have all the drama of pressing your start button over here. So it also solves the whole IVA problem without this being protruding in any space that the IVA don't want it protruding. And also it's not dangling over here and wearing away your leather and causing any issues and jangling away. So I quite like just putting it out the way. So that's all good. Now I fixed my fog light. I had a wiring issue on the fog light, so that is now working and illuminating with the rest of the dial illuminations, and the fog light comes on only when the lights are on. So I'm chuffed with that, and I will take a picture of each one of my switches from behind and probably tack it onto the end of this video, just so you can see. Now do always check with AK, because you know, my wiring might not be correct even though everything's working now, or I may have changed the wiring color if I needed to extend a wire and didn't have the same wire, so it might be confusing to you. So but I will take a picture anyway, just for my own records, and you may have a little look as well. So I'm pretty chuffed with all that. So I just need to take the dash off and just give that a smooth around here, and then it's not going to go back on. That is it, because it needs to go to paint, but I will attach the steering wheel. Next up, I'm going to take off all the chrome actually. So I need to do that, and I'm going to have to loosen the windscreen wipers and then just push them through, and then just give it some tape underneath just to stop the whole of the wipers just sort of falling into the car. I'm just going to put some tape in there just to hold it all. I do actually need to remove the wiper just briefly, the whole sort of worm gear, and grease it up now that I know it all works. So that's all fine. Next thing is I just need to make the hole here just slightly bigger, so it can go into first, okay, but it is just third, but it is just hitting. And obviously if I was to try and get it over and to get it up into fifth, then it will hit this. So I'm just going to take another sort of 5mm off all round. I did fill up the gap slightly here on the back, because that was a big crescent there, just to stop the majority of whatever's thrown up on the road, just to stop it all coming up there. What else do I need to do? After a couple of bits of trimming, I've also fitted the door rubber here. Now when it comes back, I don't expect the trimmers to have done anything with the end here, so I cut out a little circle of 1mm rubber and I hot glue it or super glue it to the end, and it makes a really nice finish and stops you catching on, you know, the metal bits that might be sticking out. Now these sections are really hard to install because it's quite an S bend here underneath, but literally a wide blade screwdriver, open up the clips behind, get it on there, and then just tap it all back into shape, and then it will hold its shape and be okay. So again, I needed to do that for when they fit the doors, to get the gaps right for the locks, and I'll be fitting some rubber over here to make that look better. Now, a couple of things to mention. When I first started the car, my indicators worked apart from these side repeaters. It seems that I got positive and negatives the wrong way around. I really didn't think it would matter, but it does. So I think actually the white is negative and the black is positive. So I just pushed out my contacts, put them back into the other side, and got that working straight away. Also, the issues I had with fuel leakage. Okay, so I had a fuel leak just from this one clip up here. I'm not messing around. Nickel oil clip straight on there. That has sorted it all out. And I had another one. Now, it wasn't actually from the braided hose. It was actually the barb that went into the fuel pressure regulator. So I had already tightened it as far as it could go, and it was still leaking. So I took it out, put a smidge of PTFE tape on there, wound it back in, and that is fixed. But you know what? I had to take off the hose finisher, and I wasn't going to mess about. I just put on these two clamps instead. Well, in actual fact, it did fail. Yes, the Jubilee clip did fail. I tried tightening it obviously too much, and it wouldn't have it. It started slipping, so I ditched it and put on some better clamps that actually have a bolt and a nut, and they can't slip. So there you go. Let's see what else I'm doing. Okay, so as I'm stripping things off, I do make a note of what was from the passenger side and what was from the driver's side, because there's a few things with slightly different lengths, dimensions, etc. Just a note here, I haven't yet done the number plate light or shorten these wires, and that is because for IVA, AK can supply a number plate light and an attachment that actually raises it to about here, so that the number plate can fit in, because at the moment the width is not big enough. And you still obviously need to make the number plate light work, so you need that extra length of wire to have that fitment. Then once you've passed, I suppose some people might then put this back into this position and shorten the wire. Alright, so just a little update with the electric handbrake that I had to get working because it's off to paint in a couple of days. So it's wired up slightly differently to how AK have told me. So we've got the source, which is the yellow, and then basically on and off. And this now appears to work. So in its off state, so button out, I can wiggle the wheels slightly, and then if we turn it on, you can hear the actuator. Now these are solid, so it's obviously engaged the brake. So what I'm going to do a little jumper from the red, I think, to the light poles, which are the two in the middle, and then you just earth the other one. So basically, when it's on, it will illuminate. So it's not going to illuminate with the rest of the dash. And then obviously it'll warn you that the handbrake's on. So hopefully that will satisfy IVA that the light is coming on. And then when you deactivate, it'll turn the light off. And the actuator, a little bit more noisy than I was expecting. And then we can wiggle the wheels again. So all good there. I do just need to adjust them. They're a bit really tight. So I do just need to get in there and adjust the little cog that expands and contracts the pads against the brake. I just need to just pull them in a little bit because it is severely rubbing. So I'll just do that, and then obviously when the actuator is engaged, it moves so far that it won't have a problem pushing up against the hub and engaging the brake. So hopefully that's kind of explains that to you okay. I'm hoping that that red light will satisfy the IVA. I didn't want to have to make another hole, although I don't have to, because now that we're using a different alternator connection, the charge light is now redundant, so I could actually put, which I think is that one actually, so I could actually change that out to be a handbrake warning light. But I think this illuminating is enough. So that's the handbrake, and now I continue just stripping the car off, ready for collection. All right then, so that's it. Car fully stripped down, all the chrome work off, everything is off, ready for paint. First time the car's been done on all four wheels, looking pretty nice. Took the opportunity to file some holes, knowing that the escutcheons will more than cover these holes anyway, just to give it a little bit more, make it a little bit more easy to install everything, all the roll hoops. Had to make the openings here a little bit larger, mainly because the escutcheons are actually bigger than these holes, and you'd have some bodywork showing the other side of the escutcheon, so that would be quite unsightly. So I just made those a little bit larger, and literally I'm 2 minutes away from pickup now. So the lounge is now full of chrome work again. So that's not making my wife that happy, but hopefully for not too long. Wow, it's looking a bit different in here now. No idea what I'm going to be doing for the next 8 or 9 weeks, but at least I can find that 10mm socket that I dropped a month or two back. Bad news is, more jobs for the wife. But anyway, next video we'll be covering some things that you might need to remember during your build, and hopefully a load of stills of the connections behind the dashboard. I'll see you again.